Hey guys, Caleb Andes with the Process Outdoors. Today is March 6th, and yesterday the kids and I went out and burnt down a CRP field. Today I want to talk about burning CRP fields or burning grass fields. I wanted to go through the how and the why. Not only did the kids have a blast, but we were able to successfully execute burning the CRP field. Even though it was a smaller acreage, about 2.5 acres, we have done bigger fields in some interesting shapes before, like horseshoe shapes that are about 12 acres or so. And there definitely is a technique to burning CRP fields. And if you've ever thought about doing it or thought you need to do it, I would absolutely encourage it. And if done correctly, it can go very smoothly. So a couple of the key things is the equipment and the process on actually burning the CRP or the grass field. So as far as the equipment goes, if possible, we always like to mow a buffer strip around the edges, just kind of a clean cut between the field itself and the timber. And as far as tools go, we take rakes, shovels, and my favorite tool, honestly, is a leaf blower to help maintain the edges. We also had a gator with some water in our sprayer on standby just in case, but never ended up getting to that. So the process itself in burning a field is you always want to start on the downwind side of the field burning. So it kind of creeps along and creates a burnt buffer between the rest of the field, the way the wind is blowing at your already burnt side, and then beyond that, which is typically timber or other grasses. By burning the downwind side, you create that buffer to where essentially we go through and just loop around and keep taking chunks out of the field itself to burn back into itself. That way you're not lighting the entire field on fire and it's racing downwind toward a fairly small buffer. As we keep going and looping around, the buffer continues to get bigger and bigger of already burnt grasses. So that really is the biggest technique, and if you have someone available with a leaf blower to kind of mind the edges, leaf blower is probably the best tool possible for maintaining a good burn and keeping the edges in check. It does a good job of blowing all the pre-burnt or the burning debris back into the burnt area and away from where you want it to be, or don't want it to be. So excellent tool, and is so simple, even a kid could do it. So why burn grasses? There's plenty of great evidence out there and studies that show that when the field gets burnt, that burnt matter goes back into the soil, releasing potassium or potash back into the soil to release some of those natural forbs and wildflowers or native grass seeds to grow back even stronger or thicker the next year, which is an excellent reason to burn fields. And grass fields or native forbs are excellent sources for deer habitat as well. So burning these fields is great. We actually had another purpose at hand, and that is we burnt this field because a portion of this field will actually become a food plot for us. And in my experience with our limited planting equipment that we deal with, burning a field and getting rid of that thatch and all the other dead grasses underneath the new growth is an excellent way to ensure you're getting great seed to soil contact. So part of this field is going to become a food plot, and the process for that is we burnt the field. We're going to wait for it to green up, go through and kill it with glyphosate, and then we're going to have nothing but perfectly exposed soil for a clover planting that we're going to be putting in here in the next couple months. And with that clover planting, a little bit of rain is going to drive that seed down into the soil, and we're going to have an excellent food plot. We'll be talking a little bit more about food plots here, specifically this one, because it does have a special purpose after a big buck. But there's different phases and different learning points that we're going to be going through with this particular food plot. This example of burning the field to get that thatch off the surface and expose some of that soil is what I would consider step one Second is soil test, actual planting, and then we'll talk a little bit specifics about tree stand placement and the shape of this particular plot and why those are important moving forward here in some of our next videos we put out. But in the meantime, if you guys have the opportunity or the area to potentially burn a field, don't be intimidated. Start on the downwind side, have the proper tools, bring plenty of people with. Good opportunity to get your kids out in the outdoors as well. It's always a fun event, burning a field. A little nerve-wracking the first couple times, but start slow, start small, and it's easy to get the hang of it. So until next time, encourage everyone to get their kids in the outdoors and get after it.